And what's good, everybody? Welcome back here once again on Behind the Arc Basketball as we join this game currently in progress going on right now. Back from a timeout. We just finished the first stream with Alabama getting the W over Florida here into the second game tonight, part of a doubleheader. Michigan State up with 15:20 left to go as they lead it over Rutgers 11-4. This game's at Michigan State. Michigan State white jerseys, green numbers, green letters. Rutgers in the black uniforms with the red numbers, red letters for this one. Rutgers missed the layup, no good, and Michigan State going to come up with a rebound. Foster Loyer with the ball in his hands. Floats it up over the top. I don't know what he was looking for, a shot or whether an alley-oop, but it was off the rim anyway. Michigan State gets the offensive rebound. Malik Hall on the post, moves it back out towards the top. They'll take a three. Gabe Brown from the outside off the mark. And rebound Rutgers. Welcome to the stream here. Vegas here. Quincy, Lachlan, Bradley. Glad to have you guys on board here back on the channel. We've got 14:43 left to go. As Rutgers took it up the court, and there's a stoppage in time here as the clock will stop. Yeah, Quincy, glad to see here Michigan State out to a fast start here. I agree, man. I remember calling that Duke game, and they got out to a really slow start out in that game. Rutgers turned it over at the baseline, so Michigan State going to get it back. Sparty looking good so far, 14.5 left to go. And this is a top 70 offense they're going up against Rutgers. And right now doing good. Defending them. Only got 4 points so far. Michigan State pass into the post. Goes inside for the turnaround jumper. No good by Sissoko and gets rebounded back over to Rutgers. Scarlet Knights now with the basketball. Moves it back to the right wing. They'll take a three. It's no good off the mark. Tipped up in the air. Rebound back to Michigan State underneath. And refs have to come in and say that that's going to be a foul picked by Rutgers. Or, no, they're going to say tie up possession arrow Rutgers. They put it out. Caleb McConnell came in late right there and tied it up. Put out the tie up there. What's good, Jason? Welcome to the stream once again. Bradley's back in here as well. 14 minutes left to go here, first half. Rutgers inbounds. They pass over to the left corner. Montez Mathis moves it back to the top of the key to McConnell. He drives inside, and that's going to get blocked by Michigan State. Huge block right there by Sissoko, the 6'9" freshman. Michigan State inside the key, but they're going to get called here for the offensive foul. Josh Langford called for that one. It's going to go back over to Rutgers. Slow scoring start into this one. Looks like Clemson just keeps on winning. As they got 1 second left to go before that game goes final. Clemson leading over NC State 74-70 in overtime. So that game's still going on. And Clemson able to squeak it out and able to win close games this year. Multiple close games. Rutgers has it left baseline. As they will go turnaround underneath and finally making something happen right there. So that is good for two. 11-6 the score. Sorry to hear that, Bill. Yeah, the over right off the bat, not looking good for this game. I'm shocked. Because Michigan State past couple of games have had a lot of trouble trying to defend their opponents, especially from the perimeter. And I'm shocked right now. Rutgers came into this game like top 70 offense. And just having a lot of trouble scoring so far. 11-6, Michigan State has it. Joey Hauser puts it back at the top of the key. Ball gets poked loose. Out of bounds, and Rocket Watts said that it was out of bounds by Rutgers, but the refs point that it was out of bounds by Rocket Watts. He didn't like that call. And Rutgers going to have the basketball. So Scarlet Knights have it, approaching 13 minutes left to go. Top of the key, Rutgers. Moves it over now into the hands of Ron Harper. Harper takes the jumper. Deep two, got it. With a hand in the face, guarded by Malik Hall right there. Just stone cold, knocks it down. 11-8, so that was a deep two there. His foot was on the three-point line. Michigan State has it back. Rocket Watts dribbles. Left wing. Armando, what's good here for stopping them by? Yeah, Alabama pounded Florida earlier today. I was stunned by that result. I had taken Alabama, but I didn't think they would pound them by that much. And the ball goes out of bounds by Michigan State. Rutgers there on the corner perimeter pings it off of a Michigan State player out of bounds. Tomorrow I'm doing the Celtics game, Roger. I might do Baylor, Oklahoma, depending on that if that game's close after the Celtics game tomorrow. But Celtics Heat tomorrow. Welcome in, Landon, once again. You must be happy about that W there by Kentucky. couple moments ago as Rutgers has a right baseline. Ron Harper takes the jumper. Off the mark, no good. Tipped up in the air, tapped out of bounds, and it goes off Rutgers at the baseline out of bounds. So Spartans will get it back here with 12:19 left to go. Michigan State's defense, it looked good to start out this season for Michigan State's defense when they covered that Duke game. But lately it's been struggling since conference play started out. But this is a bounce back type of situation for them at home, playing against Rutgers, who has struggled historically on the road. As Michigan State no good with a flow to Rutgers. 3-on-2 transition. Ball gets poked loose. Goes out of bounds. And this last touched out of bounds by Michigan State. They say it's poked here with contact. Hey, what's good, Lucas? Welcome onto the stream, bud. We're going to go to a timeout here. No problem that you're late, man. Yeah, Miami's been struggling too lately. I think they're going to get better and better throughout the course of the year, though, and just keep on moving up into the standings. I think they're just trying stuff out to see how it, fits and things right now. Because they went with a deep run, so I actually expect them out to a slow start, because the recovery period from the NBA Finals from October now to the start of season, late December, now into early January, it's unprecedented what we're seeing here with a 2-month layoff, and then you're right back into it. You only get a 2-month off season for Miami and the Lakers. Yeah, Warriors getting better, man. Definitely. Yeah, I heard a crazy finish there with Davion Mintz. Devin Askew's getting better. That's good to see that Devin Askew had a nice lead and pass over to Mintz, and Mintz just he's been great as of late. That's a sweet spot there is the corner. So Rogers getting his test results. Best of luck, man, with those test results tomorrow. Hopefully, they're the good results. Welcome in, Warren. No problem that you're late, bud. Glad to have you in the stream once again. If Steph Curry keeps playing like he is and leads his teams to the playoff, MVP. Landon puts out. I think he has a great chance if he keeps on playing like that. The only thing, he's not going to score 62 in multiple nights this year. That's the thing, but should definitely be getting some games, definitely going to have some games in the high 30s. Could very well see games with 40s as well. Might see a 50 spot on the board too. But if he keeps on playing at his level, yeah, he's going to be up there for MVP. Bounce back player of the year. Yeah, Quincy putting out Rutgers look good with Geo Baker and company. This team's got a great starting five. They struggle off the bench. That's the cold spot right now for them. Once they get Amarui back, that's going to bring them deeper with their bench. Rutgers struggling from the floor today. Michigan State's defense holding them 4-13 shooting to start off. We got 12 minutes left to go and on a timeout right now. Scoreboard update, Clemson. They keep on looking great. Just, man, this defense for Clemson. It's led them, but today it was their offense that they needed a little bit more from. So Clemson got the W in overtime, 74-70 the final over NC State, and that's a great win for Clemson. They were down throughout most of that game, and you got yourselves a good team when you can find your way to victory. And Clemson did it once again today. They did it against Miami in their last game on Saturday. They once again, trailing for the most part against NC State, able to bounce back and win it in overtime, 74-70. So Clemson looking good, 9-1 so far this season. Texas up against Iowa State now, 57-43. And then for the games in progress at the moment here, Miami, tight game. I think that's going to come down to one possession. Miami up against UNC, 15.5 left to go, 41-40. Yeah, definitely Wiggins and Oubre have been stepping it up. I thought it would take a little while for Oubre, but good to see that he's stepping it up now and getting better. Eric Paschal, good off the bench, former Villanova Wildcat. That's great to see. He did pretty well last year as a rookie. And James Wiseman's been off to a great start, too. Nets demolishing. Let's see here. Yeah, Nets demolishing the Jazz tonight, 111-82. So we're back to action, 11-8 to score. Michigan State now with the basketball. As they are somehow leading this game with 7 total turnovers for Michigan State. We got 11:50 left to go. Michigan State with only 5 shots made, 7 total turnovers, and they are leading this one. They pass it around the perimeter. Ball at the right wing to A.J. Hoggard. He's the one to look forward to as far as possibly being the next key ball handler on the team, but Michigan State coughs it up in the post for the 8th time today. Turnover number 8. Rutgers takes up the court, and Michigan State comes up with another block, their 3rd of the game right there. They move it out to the right corner, a wide open 3. Josh Langford couldn't hit it, tipped up in the air, rebound back to Rutgers. The Dayton Clowns have returned back in here, out to the stream. Rutgers will set it up around the outside. Scarlet Knights pass out to the top. 11:15 left to go. Only 19 points to account for in this game. 11 by MSU, 8 by Rutgers. Rutgers going to take a deep 3, low percentage shot, no good, but Johnson coming up with the offensive rebounds. Miles Johnson puts it back out on top. Rutgers now with the basketball. Slowing it down. 10 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Paul McCahey. He dribbles. Spin move. McCahey. Now right baseline, looking to pass it. 3 seconds left to go. The shot clock was winding down. Not a good look right there. Rebound Michigan State. And Michigan State's going to slow it down with the basketball. They'll take it up here. Drives inside and good for 2 by Hauser. So Spartans here up 13-8. 10.5 left to go here before halftime. Very slow scoring game to start out in this one right now. Rutgers has it. Oh, throwback song Roger puts here out in the chat. At the right baseline, Rutgers now with the basketball double team. Miles Johnson has it at the top of the key. Hands this one off around the perimeter. Oh, nice dish inside over to Johnson. He gets fouled from behind by Hauser. So Miles Johnson going to go to the free throw line as McCahey was the one that let him in with a pass. Yeah, Michigan jumping into the top 10. See how good Minnesota is as we welcome in Ryan out to the stream here. I think that's going to be a good game. Minnesota can put up a ton of points. It all depends on if they can stop Marcus Carr. Michigan can take that game if they're able to stop Carr in that one. So free throws here at the line. First one, Miles Johnson, no good. Ryan put a clown logo on his profile. Yeah, I remember in the last stream you told me it changed, but yeah, not showing up yet. I'll check your profile later, but sometimes it takes like a little while to sink in, I think, as far as to make the change. Rutgers misses both of the free throws. Ouch. They're not doing anything to support themselves right now. They're 0 for 6 at the free throw line for Rutgers. 4 for 16 shooting. Just on a big cold streak right now. Michigan State pass inside. They're going to get fouled from behind. Miles Johnson, Rutgers' big, picks up the personal. And it's going to send to the free throw line for Michigan State shooting 2. It's going to be 2 free throws. Number 30, Marcus Bingham. Steve, what's good here, man, for stopping them by? Yeah, Rutgers just total brick so far at the line. That's what cost them in the last game, too, against Iowa. They had the chance to close out these games. Rutgers could be undefeated now. They could be 9-0 if they're just able to close out those 2 games, Iowa and Ohio State. First free throw, no good at the line by Bingham. Oh, man. Hopefully you took the under in this one, because I thought it would be the over, but the over not looking so well right now. Second free throw, that one's good. At the line by Bingham. 14-8 the score, and we're already halfway through the first half, and Rutgers only has 8 on the board. Scarlet Knights with the basketball. Right wing pass it over to the top of the key. Moves it over to Ron Harper here at the left wing. Bounce pass left baseline. Over to Jacob Young. As he's underneath the rim, going to dribble back outside. They're using a lot of the shot clock too, so that's not going to help out the over-under cause if he took the under. Shot clock down to 6. Top of the key 3. Rutgers takes it. Air ball. No good. Offensive rebound. 2 on the shot clock. Going to put it up, and they do. Lucky. Right baseline jumper goes down. Able to find its way into the net for a bucket by Rutgers. 9:10 left to go. Michigan State now with the ball. As they drive inside, it's off the back guard. As we watch the basketball to see if it goes into the net, it won't. And Michigan State will head to the free throw line, shoot 2. That ball was bouncing off the back of the rim for like a solid 3 or 4 seconds before it dropped off. And landed out. Jacob Young picks up the personal for Rutgers. That's their 4th team foul. First free throw good at the line by Aaron Henry. 15-10. When Armando heard that Giannis signed the max, he was shocked, but in a good positive because he proved loyalty to Milwaukee. Really wanted him at Golden State, but after he showed how loyal, that's respect. Yeah, totally agree, man. That's one thing for sure. A lot of the players, they'll just take whatever you give them for money and move on because they want the money and they want to play with other players too and team up. And man, that shows you something. He wants to give Milwaukee a title there. 16-10 the score. Rutgers missed a 3-point shot. Rebound Michigan State, and they've yet to hit a single 3-point shot, and they've yet to hit a single free throw as well. 0 for 5 from the perimeter. 0 for 6 at the free throw line by Rutgers. Michigan State has it. 8:30 left to go. Top of the key, Aaron Henry. As he will try to float that one inside. It gets tapped out of bounds. Last touch by Rutgers. And Michigan State will get the basketball back. 8 on the shot clock. 8:29 left to go. So, Rutgers, once again, able to keep themselves in this game because of forcing turnovers. They got themselves 6 steals. They tallied, I think, like 11 steals against Iowa. They get a steal right there. That's steal number 7 off the inbound. Rutgers drives inside, missed the layup, but able to get the putback. That's good for 2. 16-12 to score. So, yeah, it's the steals with 7 of those in the first half so far, keeping them in the game, forcing Michigan State to turn it over 9 times so far in the first half, and we still got approaching 8 minutes left to go. Somehow, this is a 4-point game for Rutgers, yet they're shooting the ball very low from the floor at 26%. Michigan State has it top of the key. Floats it up underneath. They get stripped of the basketball. That is steal number 8 right there by Rutgers. Here goes Rutgers. Pass up the court underneath. Shot fake. Missed the layup. Should have had that one in transition right there with a clear space, and Dean Reber missed it. Wide open for a second. I have no clue why in the world he had to go for a pump fake there. Just finish it. Go in with the right hand, lay it up and in. Don't go for a pump fake and create more time. Michigan State goes inside, and the clock will stop here with 7:33 as timeout taken on the court. Wow. Yeah, it's going to be awesome tomorrow, guys. So, yeah, tomorrow, great stream planned tomorrow. I'm going to be back with the NBA. Celtics versus Heat. Should be a great rematch there of the Eastern Conference Finals. We can keep them from now. We'll see how it goes. We're going to go on a timeout here, 16-12. Hey, make sure to be on your best behavior, man. Yeah, Bill puts out they will heat up. I think so, too. I think this game will heat up right now. Rutgers here, creating steals, forcing turnovers, and that's one of the things that they do very well with this season. They just can't get it into the hoop in transition. That's the thing for Rutgers. Scoreboard update as we take a look at it. We'll take a look at the NBA first. Lakers up against the Grizzlies, 63-58. Nuggets lead the T-Wolves, 31-18. Nets up against the Jazz, 118-89. 3 games currently in progress today in the NBA. Kyrie with 29 points for Brooklyn. Donovan Mitchell with 31 for the Utah Jazz tonight. Anthony Davis trying to find a double-double. Almost there. 15 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists for AD. For other games going on, college hoops here tonight. Miami breaking out against North Carolina. Still a lot of time left to go, though. 53-45. Miami up by 8 against UNC. Number 13 ranked Missouri. Not phased right now against Mississippi State. 28-16. Missouri leads it. George, welcome to the stream. Yes, so Cliff Omarui, he's not playing today. Once again, he's injured, so he is out of this game once again today. So that would help out the bench with their depth. A low-key good game going on here in the Big East tonight. Marquette up against UConn, 20-14 the score. Watch out for James Bouknight. He has the chance to take home Big East Player of the Year, going up with Mamu Kalashvili. I think either one of them is going to be Big East Player of the Year this year, or Jeremiah Robinson-Earl out of Villanova. But yeah, 20-14 Marquette's up. That's a big game for UConn if they want to prove themselves and make their mark to be a riser towards the top 25. So that's a really good matchup going on. As for the Clemson Tigers, this team just keeps on winning. Clemson able to find a victory in overtime, 74-70 today against NC State. And then Kentucky won 77-74. Davion Mintz game-winning 3 with 48 seconds left against Vanderbilt. Texas leads against Iowa State 62-51. So yeah, Bill happy that Miami's up. Miami leads by 7. Missouri looking good, out to a roll against Mississippi State right now, so looking good right now. And I actually projected Rutgers in this one. And Rutgers, yeah, just stone cold at the free throw line. They got to turn it up here. That's the problem why they lost against Iowa, is that they couldn't hit their free throws. And once again today, they're 0 for 6 at the charity stripe. What's good, Vaughn? He's back from his hockey draft he's got right there with my man off the wall hockey. Good to hear, bud. Hope your hockey draft went well in the 20-team draft in the hockey league. So free throws coming up at the line here for Michigan State, 16-12 the score. I totally forgot because I started out this stream fast. Here we go, guys. Last stream had unranked teams. Boom, I just put those rankings up for you guys right now. So those are the rankings, 23-15, in case you guys were noticing. First free throw good at the line there for Michigan State. Second shot, and that's good as well. Marcus Bingham Jr. hits both of them. So Michigan State at the free throw line doing work there. They're 5 for 6 at the charity stripe, making the most out of their opportunities, and Rutgers really struggling 0 for 6 so far tonight. Rutgers will have the basketball somehow. They're only down by 6. They have it here at the right elbow. Moves it back around the perimeter for Rutgers. They're using a lot of shot clock on every single one of their possessions. Spin move on the drive to the basket inside. Big block by the Spartans here. Michigan State with it. Rocket Watts takes it to the bucket. Misses it, though, off the side of the backboard. Offensive rebound. That one's going to get blocked as Hogger tried to put it up, and Rutgers will get the basketball back. Scarlet Knights have it, as they will drive inside. Ball pickpocketed from behind. Goes out of bounds. The last touch by the Spartans is Aaron Henry. Great hustle play, but couldn't get there in time. There's St. John Xavier tomorrow. Unfortunately, I can't do that one. I actually don't have Fox Sports 1 where I am. I only get ESPN, TNT where I am, so I actually don't have Fox Sports 1 for some reason in my package. Tomorrow's going to be the Celtics game. Celtics versus Heat tomorrow. Very good game going down. 18-12 the score, 6:52 left to go. I plan on doing Providence against Xavier, though, on Sunday, hopefully. So, hopefully I have that one in my schedule. That's 11 o'clock in the morning, so that is a big East for breakfast on Sunday morning, which I don't usually do, like, a lot of Sunday day games. I'm usually out on Sunday for most of the day, but I'm probably going to be home since Providence is there, and I'm going to be out for the first part of Saturday, probably going to be out. So there won't be anything on Saturday for most of the day. I might do a special live stream at night. I'm gonna see what my schedule is, though. Throughout like the next couple of days, I'll let you guys know. 18-12 the score. Michigan State had the basketball back. The ball got poked loose out of bounds. Last touch by Rutgers. So 6:29 left to go. Michigan State's made their last 6 shots they've only made 6 shots from the floor today. They've got 10 turnovers. Michigan State has it, hands it off. At the right wing, Henry going to take the 3. It's off the mark, tipped up, goes out of bounds, and last touch by Michigan State. Thomas Kithier tapped it out of bounds. So Rutgers will have the basketball back, and somehow forcing turnovers. They're still in this game. Rutgers in a very low-scoring contest here in the first half. Approaching the 6-minute mark left to go, as they've only made 6 shots from the floor with no assists. At the left wing perimeter, Rutgers has it. Ball into the hands of Jacob Young. He dribbles left elbow, moves it back to the right corner. Yeah, I definitely planning on doing that one for sure. Vegas. Definitely want to do a Daytona 500 stream for the special stream for you guys. That'd be awesome. As they have it at the left elbow. Gonna force it up. That's no good. Off the mark. Rebound goes right back over to Michigan State. 5:44 left to go. Clock will stop as well here. And a timeout taken on the court, too. Steve Peichel needs to get his team together. Just collect them and just see how this is. Because, yeah, timeout taken by Steve Peichel now. And, yeah, he really needs it. 5:44 left to go, and Rutgers is just, I have no clue. How in the world are they in this game? Their defense has saved them today. Wow, their defense has saved them. Both of these teams have made 6 shots from the floor each. And we got less than 6 minutes left to go before halftime. So we're going to go on another timeout. Dennis, welcome onto the stream, bud. Everything's going pretty well. Glad to have you on the stream once again, man. He's going out for Michigan State in this one. Yeah, Utah's getting crushed tonight by Brooklyn, man. 126-92 now. Jeez. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell is basically like a third of his team's points for Utah right now. Scoreboard updates, NBA. Lakers lead the Grizzlies 67-66. Anthony Davis with a double-double, 19 points, 10 rebounds. And the Nuggets up against the T-Wolves 34-22. College basketball games going on right now. Miami still up against UNC, leading it with 8:40 left to go. Miami by 7. 57-50, and Missouri leads it by 10 with 3:45 left to go before halftime, 30-20. Marquette leads UConn. Marquette looking good, 26-16 up against UConn right now with 2:50 left to go before halftime. We're back into action into this game. Michigan State with the ball. Rocket Watt's going to take it to the bucket. That's good for 2. 20-12 with 5:15 left to go. Rutgers needs something. They have it at the right wing. They're going to hand it off around the perimeter. Ron Harper puts it into the hands of Young. Burst of speed, drives inside, gets a layup there. Much needed for the Scarlet Knights out of the timeout. Watch for both of these offenses to pick it up here out of the timeout. Michigan State has it under 5 minutes left to go. They move it over right wing, Aaron Henry. He has a turnaround jumper in the post, gets it for 2. Aaron Henry doing special things as of late here. He's got 11 points tonight for the Spartans, and they have found a gem here on their roster. When number 0, what he could do. And then the last game dropped down 27 against Nebraska. Rutgers down by 8, 4.5 left to go. Rutgers slowing it down, 10 on the shot clock. They dribble now. Drive inside, Jacob Young. Working on Kithier, couldn't get it though. Too strong off the backboard. Missed layup, rebound Spartans. Michigan State gonna have it back. Foster Lawyer hands it off around the perimeter to Henry, already with 11, looking for more. Moves it back over to Lawyer, bounce pass right baseline, Kithier. Oh, he has Rocket Watts open at the left wing as he had his hands up but didn't look to pass it there, and instead Michigan State going to turn it over once again. Rutgers pass up the court, floats it up, good for 2 by Jacob Young as he redeems himself and gets that layup, good for 2. 6-point game. Michigan State, way too many turnovers, losing the handles constantly. Foster Lawyer, they'll try it again. And they lost control of the basketball once again. Jacob Young with an easy layup right there with nobody behind defensively to contest that one. 3:42 left to go. Tom Izzo not pleased at all as he's going to take a timeout here for Sparty. And wow, Michigan State losing the handles constantly in this game. 12 total turnovers. It's resulted in 10 total Rutgers steals in the first half alone. Right now, we still have 3:42 left to go before halftime. Can I do live streams when Jesse's in college or so? Well, I don't know when you're going to be in college right now. So right now on the timeout, 2 steals by Miles Johnson, 2 steals by Jacob Young for Rutgers, 2 by McConnell for Rutgers, and then 1 steal apiece by these players for Rutgers, Ron Harper Jr., Geo Baker, Dean Reber, and McKahey got a steal as well. So, there you have it. You have, on the team, 7 players who's gotten at least 1 steal as we go to a timeout. So Michigan State losing the handles. That's been a problem all this season long, trying to figure out this point guard for this team. And A.J. Hoggard, he stepped up in the last game, had a career-high 5 assists against Nebraska. But they're just trying to figure it out as far as who is the point guard in this team. Foster Lawyer hasn't been able to take the steps up. Rocket Watts, more of the shooting guard type of player there. And it's just tough so far when you don't have like a top ball handler, that they haven't been able to get that player to groom right under Cassius Winston when they played at Michigan State throughout his career. It should have been Foster Lawyer, but just hasn't been able to take the jump up throughout his time. Landon was nervous at the Kentucky game, but Mintz hit the game-winning 3-pointer. Yep. Like 47 seconds left to go there. Big three-point shot. Scoreboard update. Missouri now leading Mississippi State 33-23. Marquette up against UConn 31-23. Other games going on. Miami still holding to that 7-point lead. Same score, 57-50 the last time I said. Other games going on for college hoops here. Texas only up by 9 against Iowa State, 70-61. Final 4 minutes left to go in that matchup. By the way, Texas Tech got the W over Kansas State, 82-71. Texans hire new GM, former Patriots Ezekiel. Wow, Nick Caserio. Doesn't surprise me there. That's basically like for like Patriots 2.0 over for like parts of Houston and also like parts of Tennessee as well under like Mike Vrabel. Like it's spread out to be like Patriots 2.0 all over the place. The Dolphins now with Brian Flores. Tons of people related to the Patriots just have been within the organization, just spreading out all over the league like within the past couple of years. This game has gone final in the NBA. Brooklyn Nets have just won against the Utah Jazz, and they destroyed them 130-96. That's the final score in that one. So Brooklyn gets the W as they improve to 4-4 in the season. Lakers and Grizzlies in a tight game, closing out the third quarter, 69-68. Lakers lead it by 1, and Nuggets up against the T-Wolves, 44-29. Yep, the Giants now with Joe Judge as well. So we get back to action. 12 turnovers by Michigan State. It's led to 12 points off of turnovers by Rutgers. Michigan State with the basketball, they almost turned it over there as well. Lucky they get it back. Josh Langford dribbles now on the key. And the ball gets tipped, and he is lucky he's able to get that one back once again. Puts it back outside. That was 2 other times they almost lost the handle. Drives inside. Dish back out to the left wing. Shot fake. Henry takes the 3. It's up short. No good. And that's a shot clock violation. Did not hit the rim in time. It's a turnover, Michigan State once again, and Tom Izzo cannot believe it. He cannot believe it. I think he's yelling at the refs because he thought that was a foul. He thought that Aaron Henry got contacted on the three-point shot. So 13 turnovers in the first half, and we still got 3 minutes left to go. Somehow Rutgers is down by 4 because they can't hit their shots. Mulcahy at the left wing perimeter. Hopefully you took the under for this one because it's looked like that so far. I did not expect this at all because Michigan State's had a hard time guarding their opponents lately. Right corner 3, off the mark, no good by Rutgers. Tipped up in the air to get the offensive rebound though. They're going to set it up again. 2:35 left to go. 6th offensive rebound of the game. This one into the hands of McConnell. 14 on the shot clock. McConnell dribbles towards his left. Johnson rolls out underneath into the post. Passes out left corner. Mulcahy takes the 3. It's off the mark. Missed another 3-point shot. Rebound back to Michigan State. 2:20 left to go. Wide open 3. Spots it up. Josh Langford couldn't hit it. He was wide open and missed it. Rebound Rutgers. Pass up the court 2-on-1. And they go lay it up and in with a foul from behind. That's a big bucket for Rutgers in transition. And 1 coming up at the free throw line here for the Scarlet Knights with 2:10 left to go. Big bucket. Man, there was a lot to take in past couple possessions. Turnovers, poor shots, wide open shots that they couldn't hit. Man, Paul Mulcahy here is going to shoot the and 1. So 2:10 left remaining. Rutgers here 1 at the free throw line to see if they can draw win in 1. They've yet to hit a free throw, but they got an 80% shooter with Mulcahy at the line, and he missed it. No good. The Michigan State free throw demon is preventing Rutgers from hitting anything at the charity stripe today. 0 for 7. 2 minutes left to play here before halftime. Very low scoring game. 22-20. Michigan State has it top of the key. Bounce pass inside. Tip deflected. Stolen away by Rutgers. For another time, 11th steal of the game. Here they go in transition. Reverse-handed layup. They missed it. No good. They've had so many good looks. Haven't been able to get them to fall today in transition. Ball gets tapped out of bounds. Last touch by Michigan State, I believe. Clock will stop with 1:44. Welcome in the Raven once again. The Rutgers for the W. Got out on this one. Actually, it's out of bounds by Rutgers. So Rutgers last touched it out of bounds off the rebound. It's going to be Michigan State basketball. Spartans have it now. Plus 10 on the boards, 25-15 for Michigan State. They move it over to the left wing. Malik Hall now dribbles, drives inside, and that's good for 2 up and in off the glass. 24-20. 1:20 left to go. I have no clue, Rutgers is so lucky because their shooting just pour from the floor. Oh, massive block by Michigan State. Maddie Sissoko with a 7th team block of the game right there in transition. Michigan State takes the 3 and finally somebody hits it. Gabe Brown from the outside hits the perimeter triple. And the Spartans up by 7. 1 minute left to go. ESPN has retired players taken with some auto picks. Ouch. That's not a good start there to the draft for that fantasy hockey league if you had retired players that got picked up by auto draft. Right baseline dribble. McConnell, pro hop, puts it up. That's going to be a hard foul. Picked up by the freshman Sissoko, and 2 free throws here at the line coming up by Kayla McConnell. 44 seconds left to go before halftime. If you're just joining us here, Rutgers just hasn't been able to make a single 3-point shot, hasn't been able to make a free throw either, and somehow they're only down by 7 because Michigan State here has turned it over in this first half 14 times, resulting in 11 steals by Rutgers. 2 free throws coming up at the line by Rutgers. Rutgers has had it multiple times in transition, and they've blown layups that they should be able to get clearly. First one's good. So finally, the first free throw goes down for Rutgers today. 1 for 8 at the charity stripe. Second one coming up with 44 seconds left to go, and finally somebody can hit 2 of them straight at the line. As McConnell did that time. 5-point game. 40 seconds left to go before half. Michigan State has it. They're going to dribble. Drive inside. Blocked from behind, but they're going to call a blocking foul. Picked up by Rutgers. It's on Miles Johnson, number 15. It's going to send Michigan State to the free throw line and shooting 2 with 34 seconds remaining. Welcome in, Jose. Glad to have you on the stream, bud. He's at home already. Went to work with his mom. Going to eat McDonald's hamburger and a soda for Coca-Cola, looks like right now. 2 free throws coming up by Michigan State. This has been a sloppy game. Ouch. I felt that in the first game that I covered Rutgers back on Saturday against Iowa. That was the same thing there. It was really cold shooting from both of those teams in the first half. First one, no good. Rattled out. Michigan State missed it. And that today for the Spartans is only their second missed free throw. And that one is good at the charity stripe. So splitting at that time by Michigan State. 1 for 2. 6-point game. 30 seconds left to go. Rutgers here is only down by 2 possessions. They have a chance with a 3 to cut it down to 1 possession, unbelievably, before halftime. Rutgers has it. 4-second differential shot clock and game clock. At the top of the key for Rutgers. They'll dribble towards the left wing. Jacob Young passes back out. That's going to get out of the reach. Oh, watch out. Almost a backcourt violation. They are lucky they got a back deep 3. 5 seconds they dialed up. Air ball. Shot clock violation. Not a good possession. Rutgers just poor possession there. Ron Harper Jr. had it dialed up from way outside. And the shot clock turned off as it was an air ball. Michigan State going to have it here. 3.6 left. So this game has just been the result of poor quality possessions here in this first half. Michigan State inbound. Dribbles past half court. Rocket Watts. Floater at the horn. No good. Off the back iron as we go into halftime here. Michigan State by 6. Man. Wow, what a game to start off with in this one. Quite the matchup so far. Execution, sloppy. A lot of problems so far in this first half. It's unbelievable feats that we've had in this game. 14 total turnovers. That's a final score turnover number. Yet Michigan State has that at halftime. Michigan State with 7 total blocks. 3 of those, by the way, by Aaron Henry. And off the bench, Maddie Sissoko is 2 for the freshmen. So the swap fest they came to play today with the big fellas in the post for MSU. Aaron Henry, the only player in this game with double figures. He's got himself 11 points. Or actually, for Rutgers, Jacob Young's got 10. So 2 players in this game scoring double-digit points right now. Turnover issues for Michigan State. They lie mostly when Aaron Henry in this game. He's got 3 turnovers out of the 14. Gabe Brown's got 2 turnovers. A.J. Hoggard, 2 turnovers for the freshman. And then as well as the turnovers here. Rocket Watts, Foster Lawyer, Marcus Bingham, Joey Hauser, Josh Langford, and Thomas Kithier all got a turnover each. Rocket Watts only got himself 2 points here at the half. So the good old Danny turnovers. Jose went out to the thrift store. He got a WWE controller. Game to play on his TV. That's cool, man. Yep, who can miss the most basically in this game? Rutgers only made 10 shots in the first half, and Michigan State only made 10 shots as well. The difference here, Rutgers took 35 shots, and Michigan State took 24. So that's where Michigan State has made 44% of their shots, where Rutgers only made 29% of their shots in the first half. And yeah, stone cold. Rutgers yet to hit a 3-point shot, and they were cooking in the second half from the perimeter against Iowa. I remember that game. So yeah, Bill puts out can't have a worse half than that. Rutgers needs a good second half. Totally agree. They were cooking against Iowa. Problems for Rutgers. For Rutgers, they just can't seal the deal late in games. They lost against Ohio State. They were up by double digits halfway through the second half. And they were up for the majority of that game against Iowa in the second half and lost that one as well. So if they had been able to sustain both of those leads, they'd be undefeated right now at 9-0. But they couldn't, and they blew both of those games. Welcome in, Texas boy. Glad to have you in the stream. He likes Texas over Baylor here. And Dak over Daniel Jones. Right now we're just on halftime between these two teams currently. $28.22. If you guys are new, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell as well. If you'd like to be notified about future play-by-play live streams here tonight on Behind the Arc Basketball or games that I cover. Tomorrow I plan on covering Celtics versus Heat tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern Time. And then if the Baylor-Oklahoma game is close, after the Celtics game, I'll join in progress for the second half if that game is close. If it's a blowout, I'll just cover the Celtics versus Heat game tomorrow. Scoreboard update here. We take a look at NBA first. Lakers taking on the Grizzlies. Grizzlies lead it by 1. 7:41 left to go. Very low-scoring game tonight as the Grizzlies lead at 75-74. Nuggets up against the Timberwolves, 55-48. And then this game gone final earlier today. Brooklyn Nets over to Utah Jazz, 130-96. College basketball, 3:40 left to go. Crucial game going on. Miami up against North Carolina, 61-57, a 4-point game. With 3:40 remaining in that one, UNC holds on to a 4-point lead. Number 13 ranked Missouri up at halftime against Mississippi State, 39-27, the score in that game. Yep, totally agree right there, Jack. Rutgers definitely going to need to drink that Red Bull at halftime right there. Got to give them the wings and hit down some key shots. UConn needs to do the same right now. They've only scored 23 at the half. Marquette up at halftime against UConn, 31-23. Honestly thought UConn would have a better game than this today. Other games going down from college basketball. The Clemson Tigers keep on rolling, 9-1. Pulling out another close victory, 74-70 over North Carolina State. Texas Tech able to beat Kansas State, even though it's close in the first half, 82-71 the final. And then Kentucky able to get their second straight victory in a row, 77-74 over Vanderbilt. Davion Mintz, go-ahead game-winning shot, 48 seconds left from the left corner. So he knocked it down. Texas, we're going to take note on this one. Iowa State hanging in there, though. Final 30 seconds. Texas up by 5. 75-70 against Iowa State. So that game closer than usual. If Iowa State loses, they're going to fall to 0-4 in the Big 12, but they have played their opponents close for Iowa State. Much closer than expected. We're going to take a look at this. Iowa State this season, they just can't close out games. They lost against South Dakota State by 3. They got crushed against Iowa. Just not a good matchup at all. They lost against Kansas State. So they couldn't even beat Kansas State. They lost to them by 9. Lost to West Virginia by 5 for Iowa State. And now they're in a 5-point game against Texas in the final 30 seconds. And they also were also in a tight matchup against Baylor until Baylor broke loose late and won that one 76-65. So Iowa State going to fall to 2-6. And somehow it's just they just can't pull together the W and overcome deficits here that they're in, for short deficits too. So right now we're just on timeout at halftime. Yeah, they're definitely going to stick with Daniel Jones, Evan Ingram. They're not moving on from them. Not moving on from those two. Welcome in, Eden. Yes, I remember you. Welcome back on the stream, bud. So the big notable game we'll keep you guys posted on is the final seconds of that Texas-Iowa State game. So you got like 28 seconds left to go. Yep, Giants need an offensive line still. It's one of their main concerns. Darius Slayton's broken out this year as a really solid offensive weapon. He's done some great things. The thing about Evan Ingram is it's going to be a huge year next year for Evan Ingram because they drafted him, and I feel like throughout his career he's just been so overrated right now for Evan Ingram. He has only flashes of star potential a couple times, and then other games it's just been a dud for Evan Ingram. That's the thing. As we welcome back Steve on the channel, puts out interesting first half to say the least. Yes, totally, man. I can't believe it. He wonders if a Division 2 or 3 basketball will ever start up. Yeah, I'm not sure myself there, but I know a lot of, I think it's like Division 3, they stopped their sports season for this year. It's really unfortunate for those players. Yeah, because I went to a Division 3 college in Massachusetts, and a lot of the stuff up in my area, like if you're up from the Northeast, like Massachusetts, Rhode Island, there's a lot of restrictions up in this area, and yeah, there's not really like much as far as like what we can do like up here around this time or so. They didn't have a high school season out of Massachusetts this year for high school football. I think they're having a high school basketball season though. But I think, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that Boston University and Holy Cross were the first college basketball game ever to wear masks in. So that set the mark for both of the teams today, that they wore masks. Holy Cross didn't, and BU did yesterday. BU's going to wear them in all their games this year, I believe. And then they have a mask mandate at their university that whoever they play against at BU has to wear them. I think at the high school level, my state for Mass, I think the basketball players have to wear masks. It's crazy. It's crazy, and like all the other states are like so wide open. Like I covered before this game, I covered Alabama against Florida, and Alabama had fans in the stands. I covered Texas Tech a couple of weeks ago. Texas Tech had like a ton of people out in the stands there. Like they had like good amount of capacity in that game. Texas Tech, Kansas. So it varies by state. Like a lot of like some of the states have like things open up, like a lot around Southeast, Midwest. Up here in the Northeast, it's like way strict. As far as the things like over here in Massachusetts, everything's like 25%, and then now the restaurants have to close at like 9:30 at night. Nobody can be allowed anymore. Yeah, I agree, Warren. It's like I don't know how in the world they can breathe in that. Like that's what Boston University's doing. Like every single game this year is playing in masks, and they didn't even wear them correctly. They wore them as chin straps. I saw in the picture with some of the players, and there's no proven spread that it can spread from team to team. That's the thing. It hasn't happened. We've kind of figured that out from the NFL season, because I remember the Tennessee Titans were the first team to have positive tests, like a rash of positive tests. And then the Vikings had to go into quarantine for that. And then Minnesota just never had any players test positive because of that. There was like no spread that happened from that. And from these basketball games, that hasn't resulted from any spread either. It's just from like team facilities or so that it's spread to, or like team gatherings, or if the They don't have like masks on for team gatherings or so. So 28-22 at halftime. Rutgers still in this game, even though shots from the floor has been a struggle. What's good, Raven? Appreciate you for stopping them by. Raven's back into. I think Michigan State will collapse in this one. Ian puts out. I will go yes. I predicted Rutgers in this game, actually. Rutgers has had trouble closing out games. They've yet to hit a three-point shot, but in the second half, they're going to be due, and they're going to be hitting three-point shots, I feel like, for sure in the second half for Rutgers, and this is going to be a totally different game. So I had predicted Rutgers to win this one. It's just their shots just haven't been able to fall. And if their shots fall in that first half, it's another story. And they're 0 for 8 from the outside. They just got to get Baker and Harper hot in this one. And Miles Johnson, he has yet to score. He was a beast against Iowa back on Saturday. They were able to give him touches in the post. He's only got one shot attempt. No points so far by Johnson. That's a really good interior defense he's going up against Michigan State, though. This team has 7 blocks at halftime. The difference, it's going to have to be the perimeter for the difference in this game. I think Rutgers is going to turn up and make their shots in the perimeter. As seen yesterday what West Virginia did. Because West Virginia was struggling from the perimeter. And then Miles McBride, Sean McNeil, Taz Sherman, they turned it up. Last 12 minutes of that one and kept on knocking down key shots, and after that it was history. West Virginia won it last night. Final score here, Texas has won against Iowa State 78-72. What's good, Ty? Welcome in the stream here. Must be happy that Missouri's up at halftime, 39-27. They're looking good tonight against Mississippi State. Miami has surrendered a lead. Miami now losing against North Carolina. This is what I'm telling you guys. I said this about like 3 hours ago. This game's going to come down to the final possession. Miami keeps on playing like every single team they play. It's like a close game for Miami. They're 4-4, 0-3 in the ACC. North Carolina leads it by 2, 63-61. The score there against Miami. So Miami has given up a 7-point lead that they had. And now it's a 2-point lead by UNC with 1:22 left to go. Missouri looking good as they start out their second half. They're up against Mississippi State. Marquette leads UConn. Oh, jeez. Holy. What happened to UConn? Come on. 41-23. Marquette. Wow. I didn't expect that. Jeez. I thought UConn would be top 25 caliber here. They posted a no-show against Marquette in the second half. 10-0 run. First 3 minutes for Marquette. They lead at 41-23 against UConn. Kansas just tipped off against TCU. They're up 3-0. So yeah, now the key game to watch out for. We'll keep you guys updated with UNC versus Miami for the final like minute 20 left to go in that one. So we're still at halftime here. Man. Yeah, UConn is getting destroyed now against Marquette, losing by 18. Man. So yeah, Ty puts out here, this season makes him so happy. Missouri's gone from 15-17, 15-16 these past 2 seasons to what they're doing now. Totally agree, man. I was talking about, in my preseason video I covered for the SEC, I said that Missouri would be my sleeper. That was a tough thing to gauge, was that this team had like 9 upperclassmen on their roster. The way that they had to do it, though, is putting all the pieces together. And it's finally there this year that they've been able to put the pieces together. So we're going to start off the second half here, folks, in just a moment into this game. I think Rutgers has a good chance to get hot here in the second half. But yeah, looking at Miami, and they're in a tight one right now. Final minute and 20 against UNC. Miami's lost the last 2 games by a combined 3 points. And both of them against top 25 teams. They lost against Virginia Tech 80-78. And then they lost their last game on Saturday against Clemson by 1, 66-65. So this Miami team, they've played so many close opponents. They're definitely better than what they're advertised. They're playing with a ton of injuries. They're without their leading scorer, starting point guard for this game today, Chris Likes. And they're in a tight game right now against UNC. They also lost against Florida Gulf Coast. That's the crusher. If determining tournament bids for Miami, that's a killer. Losing by 4 against Florida Gulf Coast. And guess what? Miami just tied it up. So 1 minute left to play. Miami, UNC tied up at 63. So we'll keep on updating you guys with that score. We're going to start off here, second half in this one, everybody. Drake looking good, 13-0, man. Getting some receiving votes right outside the AP Top 25 poll as we get back for the second half. Michigan State basketball first. Aaron Henry moves it back outside to Hauser. Takes the 3, hit the rim short. They get the offensive rebound. Henry moves it back out on top. Kithier puts the ball now into the hands of Hoggard. Moves it back over to the right wing. Hauser passes over right wing. Over to Josh Langford. Moves it out right baseline to Hauser. He is guarded underneath. Puts that one up. No good. Off the back iron. Gets another offensive rebound. And relentless there. Scores up and in off the glass. That's good for 2 by Michigan State. 30-22 the score. Oh, yeah, for sure, Jack. Strange things happening in basketball this year. As noted that the Dayton Flyers lost against Fordham today. I would have never thought in my life right there that would have happened. That Dayton had won the last 17 straight against Fordham, and Fordham won today. Like, no clue. 3-point shot. There you go. I called it. Rutgers, right out of the gate here, first minute, hits the triple from the outside. And once they get hot with their perimeter threes, this game can go in Rutgers' way. First 3-point shot going down of this game by Rutgers with less than that was by Montez Mathis, too. Last 3 games, he is 8 for 10 from the perimeter. Michigan State goes inside. That's good for 2, up and in off the backboard. 7-point lead. Aaron Henry, 13 points, 5 rebounds. Rutgers has it, moves it over. Left wing to Jacob Young. Jacob Young now dribbles with the basketball. As he's looking to pass it. Bounce pass inside. Gets a big fella involved. Johnson going to get fouled here. Clock will stop with 18:25. Scoreboard update. UNC. Miami. 45 seconds. North Carolina gets a bucket. They lead it by 2. 65-63. We'll keep you guys posted in that game. So 2 free throws here coming up in the line by Miles Johnson. Yet to score a single point today. He missed the free throw. He's 0 for 5 at the line. So obviously not his bright spot here for the big fella is the free throws. He's going to have to get the ball into the hoop in this game. Yep, the Clowns heard me talking about them. Second free throw coming up. And no good. 0 for 6. Miles Johnson just can't hit it at the line. Rebound Michigan State. Rutgers 2 for 11 today at the charity stripe. Got to go back to the basics when it comes to practice this week for Miles Johnson. Michigan State has it at the right wing perimeter. Josh Langford dribbles. Takes the jumper right elbow. Hits it. That's good for 2. 34-25 to score. Yeah, could do so if there's if it keeps up. Rutgers with it and another foul picked up. (34-25), 17:45 left to go. And Michigan State going to come up with a steal around the perimeter. Here goes the Spartans, as that's going to be a Rutgers foul underneath here. Clock will stop with 17:36. Timeout take, yeah, stoppage in time in the court here. So Vaughn just got done looking at his mock draft. No mock draft has the Giants drafting the tight end and the quarterback he puts out. (34-25) the score. They're looking at this foul right now. Let's see. It would be assessed to number 10 for Rutgers. That would be Montez Mathis, who picked up the personal guarding Henry. Oh, yeah, he grabbed him from behind. He wasn't in shooting motion, though. He was dribbling, so that shouldn't be free throws. Yeah, UConn down big. I can't believe it, man. That's embarrassing. I wrote up my preview article about UConn winning, how everybody needs to take this team legit because this team is a sleeper for the tournament, and they just come out and be a no-show today. I don't get it. By the way, Mississippi State, oh boy, Mississippi State making it a game against Missouri, 43-38. Mississippi State in the second half run of 11-4, making it a game. Miami, UNC, game is tied up at 65 with 16 seconds left to go. And yeah, Marquette is up by 18 over UConn, 43-25. So inbound coming up underneath here by Michigan State. 17:36 left to go. It's a personal foul picked up by Rutgers, their first one of the second half. Welcome in, Braden. Appreciate Bud for stopping them by. Yeah, man. Florida just, second half, just forgot to show up in that game today. Alabama looking good with that offense. And their defense as well can cook this year. Their defense a difference maker this season. Rutgers reaches in, picks up a second personal. And Michigan State will get the inbounds. Brady, as we welcome him back to the stream. Yep, Kentucky with 2 straight victories. He thinks Kentucky's going to make it as a 12 seed. They're going to have to go probably in conference play like 15-3 to do so for Kentucky if they get to that 12 seed. 34-25, Michigan State no good. Rebound Rutgers. Approaching 17 minutes left to go. Rutgers has it, holds the basketball. Into the hands of Jacob Young. Young now dribbles, floats it up off the mid-range, no good. Knocked out of bounds by Hauser of the Spartans, and Rutgers will get it back with 16:57 remaining. North Carolina just made a jumper by Playtech there, as UNC leads at 67-65 with 3 seconds left to go over Miami. 16:50 remaining here. As Michigan State gets the steal, as they're going to dribble inside, and they get fouled from behind. So Michigan State going to the free throw line coming up. Exactly what I said, except I picked the wrong team to win. Miami has just lost, so North Carolina gets the victory. And Miami falls to 0-4 in the ACC. Final score, UNC 67, Miami 65. So that game has just gone final. Miami a crusher there. 0-4 in the ACC, and they've lost their last 3 straight games by a combined 5 points. That's rough. That is rough. First free throw, good at the line by Michigan State. Second one up, that one's good. Young Crazy, welcome to the stream. I actually don't have SEC Network, so that's why I didn't cover Kentucky today. That game they put out for Alabama. The first game, Alabama, Florida, that was on ESPN2, what I get. I don't get SEC Network where I am. Yeah, I thought Miami was going to be good too, and they just have struggled with a rash of injuries this year. They were without their best player today. They would have won today with Chris Likes if they had him. 36-25 to score. Jose, welcome back on the stream. Mackenzie, welcome back. 16:40 left to go. Rutgers has it. In trouble now. Largest deficit, down by 11. Ron Harper has the top of the key. This is where you got to start draining some threes if you're Rutgers. They have it at the left wing with McConnell, and he lost control of the basketball. Michigan State now stealing it in the second half. Pass up the court, swatted out of bounds by Rutgers, by McCahey. And Michigan State going to get the inbound back here with 16:25. Missouri coughing up this lead that they had at halftime. Mississippi State's cut it to 3 now, 43-40. Inbound here for Michigan State. Will, welcome on the stream, bud. Hope all is going well. Hauser going to take the 3, hit the rim short, no good. Rebound Rutgers. Scarlet Knights have it here with 16:10 left to go. At the right wing, Geo Baker. Passes over to the top here to McConnell. McConnell at the left wing. 16 minutes even. Back outside to Geo Baker. Baker now dribbles. He had Johnson open, and then Hauser able to cover him from the back cut for a moment. Rutgers has it at the top of the key. McCahey moves it over to his right, as now they will dribble. Harper at the right elbow. Passes back, catch and shoot 3. Long range, no good off the mark by Rutgers. Rebound Michigan State. Spartans now with the basketball. 15:40 left to go. Michigan State will set it up right now. Moves it out left baseline into the hands of Hauser. Hauser backs his way into the post guarded by Johnson. Hauser here, and that's going to be a foul picked up. It's going to be offensive by Michigan State. State, I believe, here. Clock will stop with 15:29. So we're going to go on the timeout. I'm going to check to see. Okay, let's put that on. $36-25 to score. And it's actually, yeah, it's gonna be a tie up here, jump ball Rutgers, they called it. So Rutgers gonna get the basketball after the timeout. Yeah, great games tomorrow. Tennessee, Arkansas on ESPN2 tomorrow. I'm gonna cover the Celtics game during that time slot tomorrow because they're on ESPN or so, and Celtics get to play on national tomorrow. Very good game going on. I feel like we get like a ton of people for the NBA stuff. Usually the college games are gonna be, because I'm thinking about like what they put it on for the schedule and stuff for the games. Looking at them, I think there's like the national for colleges. I think we're gonna have college games on Monday and Tuesday, and then Saturday and Sunday usually, and then NBA will usually be like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I think. Oh yep, I'll put that here for you guys. Second half here. I haven't changed it yet. So it's second half if you guys are new into it, with 15:29 left to go. Lowlife, welcome onto the stream here. You got Rutgers plus 15 in the Clippers here. What do I think about this one? I actually had Rutgers in this game for today. I think that they still have a chance to come back. Right now, down by 11. That's too bad. They just can't hit their shots. That's the thing today for Rutgers. Yeah, just really poor performance so far. Just can't hit shots from the floor. So let's see what we got. Scoreboard update. Missouri in a tight game right now against Mississippi State, 48-46. That is the score here, with 12 minutes left to go. Marquette up against UConn. UConn's trying to make a comeback, though. 45-33. Still down by 12 points, though. Kansas up against TCU, 18-13. TCU is going to be on the bubble all season long. They're probably going to end up being like the first seed in the NIT for TCU. Most likely. That's a huge matchup. If they're able to beat Kansas at home, that is huge there. But right now, trailing by 5. As for the NBA, T-Wolves up against the Nuggets at halftime here. 65-62. Spurs lead the Clippers 2016. Lakers lead it with 1 second left to go. Lakers lead over the Grizzlies in a low-scoring game, 94-92. So that's the next one we'll pinpoint for you guys tonight as far as the Lakers final. Sleeper team UAB. Yeah, UAB shockingly has a good record so far this year. I'm going to take sleeper team right now. A couple of them. St. Louis as a sleeper team. And also got Boise State as a sleeper team. Mark that down. I'm going with Boise State. 15-20 left to go. 36-25. And yeah, watch out for Drake as well. Except, the only thing is, Drake hasn't played, like, they won't play, like, a legit opponent all the way to the tournament, so they are a complete unknown. Michigan State has it, top of the key, for the Spartans. Bounce pass to the left wing, Hauser feeds inside to Henry, ball gets deflected, and he tried to save it, but couldn't get it. Rutgers comes up with a steal there. Here goes Rutgers, takes the 3, and they knock it down. It's a big one. Second triple of the game, Ron Harper Jr. hits it. This is what you got to watch out for in that game against Iowa. They got hot from the perimeter at one point. They have the chance to do that again. Their threes just haven't been able to fall in that first half. 14.5 left to go. Michigan State has the top of the free throw circle. Moves it back over to Hauser. Passes to the right wing to Henry. Aaron Henry over into the hands of Hogger now. Hogger dribbles free throw circle back outside from Michigan State. Henry has it pro hop, and Rutgers will pick up another foul. So the clock will stop once again here when under 15 left to go. So Brady puts out here, Final Four, Gonzaga, Baylor, Houston. And UAB is the sleeper team for the Final Four. He's got right there. My Final Four right now, I got 2 of the same teams as you. Right there. I got Gonzaga, Baylor in the Final Four. And then along with that, I have right now Texas and Wisconsin. in the Final Four with Gonzaga-Baylor. 14 minutes as we approach the mark remaining. Michigan State with the basketballs. They drive inside. It gets blocked. The ball is on the ground here, and it's going to be a tie-up between Rutgers and Michigan State. Possession arrow going over to Rutgers with 14 minutes remaining. So 14 minutes left to go. 17th turnover to game by Michigan State. Rutgers basketball. McKay moves it over to the left wing. McConnell has it back to the top. Into the hands of McKay once again. Lakers barely able to hold on. What a defensive game tonight, 94-92, man. McKay dribbles, free throw circle. Pro hop inside, puts it up, and that's good off the glass for two there by Paul McKay. Able to get a couple of their shots as a late 6-point game, hanging in the balance by Rutgers. Once they start cooking, this could be a different score. Handoff here from Michigan State. Left baseline jumper. Henry sticks it. That's good for two by number 0 for MSU. Michigan State by 8. Aaron Henry, the key player tonight with 15 points. Rutgers has the basketball. Right wing perimeter. McKay has it. Dribbles now at the right corner, guarded by Hauser. Right baseline dribble in the key. Takes the jumper. No good off the mark. Couldn't get it. Rebound Michigan State. 13 minutes left to play. Spartans now with the balls. They'll take it up the court. At the top of the key with Hager. Moves it out left corner. 3. They take it. They gut it. Aaron Henry hits it. 11-point lead here for MSU. Rutgers in trouble. 12:51 left to go. Steve Peichel going to take another timeout here for the Scarlet Knights. So things were looking good for a moment for Rutgers. Then Michigan State with a big corner 3. Timeout taken on the court here, folks. If you guys are new, spike the thumbs up. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Ring that notification bell as well if you'd like to be notified about future play-by-play games here on Behind the Arc Basketball. The Grizzlies stole it from the Lakers. 1 second left to go, but they stepped out of bounds. What a crusher from Memphis. Wow. Yeah, way off game today for Rutgers. Way, way off. They're top 70 offense in scoring. And this game is just... They have players that can score here in this roster. They're loaded with players that can score in their roster. And today it's just been a struggle. Geo Baker's only got 2 points so far for Geo Baker. Jacob Young leading scorer with 10. Ron Harper Jr. with 9. Montez Mathis, he has been great the past couple of games, but has only been held to 3 points today. So many upsets as of late. Rutgers probably going to lose this, but I still think they have a chance to possibly come back in this one for this game here. Knowing what happened yesterday with that West Virginia game. Like, anything is possible. So, right now we got 12:51 remaining, and Rutgers only down by 11. They're not down by 18, so they're not, like, down by 11. Yeah, it's just been a poor game shooting for Rutgers. If they get hot here, they can start taking this game and cutting into this deficit. That's the thing. But they've been slow as far as their possessions as of late. How's Providence doing? Providence okay. Right now they're like bubble to make it to the tournament. Big game determining their way on Sunday indeed against Xavier. If they beat Xavier, they're probably the last team in the tournament. If they lose against Xavier, then they're in that grouping for first 4 out, next 4 out in that grouping. That's a huge matchup for them. They lost the crusher against Creighton on Saturday. They lost by 2. That game should have went into overtime, and Providence should have had the chance to win it. But yeah, for Providence, they got one quad 1 victory. It's against Seton Hall. Other than that, they got a bad loss that they lost, I think, by like 17 against Alabama. It's not actually a bad loss because Alabama is doing their thing and keeps on getting better and better. But the amount they lost against, that's the disappointing part for Providence, is that they lost by double digits in the Maui Invitational against Alabama. But other than that, their Big East games, rest of those games have been close. The bad loss that's going to hurt them if they don't make it into the tournament is going to be Butler. There's no reason why in the world that they should have lost to Butler there. If you're Providence, you had to sweep Butler, and they would have been in the tournament conversation right now as like a 10-11 seed if they had beat Butler. Instead, they're in the next 4 out group. 41-30. Totally agree there, Brady. Alabama keeps on getting better and better. They can score and they can also play defense. They're much improved defensively. Huge game tomorrow for Bradley. Cardinals going up against Virginia Tech there. Louisville VT tomorrow. That should be a great game. Still taking your Cardinals there, bud. 12:30 left to go. Rutgers has it. Drives inside. They miss the layup. No good. Rebound back over to Michigan State. Spartans with the basketball. As they will take it. Right baseline dribble. And Gabe Brown going to get fouled. He's going to go to the free throw line, shoot 2. Vaughn's phone is about to die, and now it's on 58%. That's very odd. Yeah, Kansas got exposed big time by Texas. Kansas does not have a front court to compete against Texas. Kansas hit 16 3-point shots against West Virginia. That's their bread and butter, is 3-point shots. If you take Kansas out of the game right there, then they have a lot of trouble scoring points inside, and that was a major issue. By the way, Mississippi State is leading Missouri 51-50. Welcome to the stream, Preston. Appreciate, man, for stopping them by. So Mississippi State was down by double-digit points in the first half. They have come back, and they are leading that game against Missouri. First free throw, no good by Gabe Brown. Second one is good. At the line by Michigan State. They're up by 12. 12:20 left to go remaining in this one. Rutgers now with the basketball. West Virginia got hot with around 12 minutes left to go, able to complete an 18-point comeback. What does Rutgers have in store? They take a 3, they sink it at the left wing. 33 on the board. They should have had that by halftime, but with 12 minutes left to go, Geo Baker hits a big 3, and it's a low scoring affair tonight, 42-33. Under 12 left to go. Michigan State has it. Rocket Watts, who's been mostly silent tonight. Bounce pass over to Gabe Brown. Drives inside. Puts it up. No good. And a rebound goes to Johnson. Pass up the court. Here they go. Fast in transition. Rutgers driving to the cup. Puts it up. No good. Couldn't hit it right there with a layup. Missed it by Jacob Young. That should have been 2. Rebound back to Michigan State. 11:30 left to go. Michigan State going to take it past the half-court logo. Rocket Watts going to slow it down right now. 11.5 remaining. Watts drives inside. Floats it up right there with a teardrop. Gets to the fall for 2 by the Rocket. Up by 11 with 11:22 left to go. Who do I think makes the Final Four? I got Gonzaga, Baylor, Texas, and Wisconsin for my Final Four. 44-33 here, folks, the score in this one. Timeout taken on the court with 11:22 remaining. Big 3-point shot a couple moments ago by Rutgers, but once again, Rocket Watts with a huge possession for MSU. Always the score provides the answer, it seems like. And 31% shooting for Rutgers ain't going to cut it. They're going to have to get hot the rest of the home stretch here for the second portion of the second half. As for college basketball games going on right now, Missouri is running out of gas. They are losing. They have coughed it up big time. Mississippi State leads it 55-52 over Missouri. So talk about choking games today. Miami choked the game. They lost against UNC 67-65. Marquette is choking. Thanks so much for the update, Preston. Wow, Marquette, last time I looked, 47-42 now the score with 8:50 left to go in this game as I last checked it here. And Marquette, by 1 point, they got out to a 10-0 lead to start out the second half. They were up by 18 points, and now it's a 5-point game. So how about that? UConn making a comeback in this one. Wow, and Marquette was the one on Saturday that made a massive comeback and won against Georgetown. And Georgetown has been known to have huge blowouts this year. By the way, James Bouknight, 6 points for UConn. Yeah, no wonder why they're down in that game. He came into that game averaging 23. He dropped down 40 against Creighton. Isaiah Whaley, looking at his stats right now, 13 points, 12 rebounds. That's insane for Whaley, what he has done for him. Two years ago, Isaiah Whaley averaged not even 1 point per game 2 years ago for UConn. Not even 1 point per game. This year he's averaging, I think, around 9. And today he's got himself a double-double, 13 and 12, with still less than 9 minutes left to go. Insane. UConn's defense is low-key good. They're low-key good. That's first out of 3 games on the road trip there for the Huskies. Rutgers got his Final Four, Richmond versus Baylor, and Gonzaga versus Texas National Championship, Baylor versus Gonzaga. And Gonzaga wins by 187-86. Richmond in jeopardy now of possibly missing out on the tournament for Richmond. They lost against St. Bonaventure. It's very, very odd, like, what's going on. Quite a surprising season. St. Bonaventure lost to Rhode Island. Richmond lost to St. Bonaventure in a buzzer beater. Rhode Island's barely able to beat St. Joseph's, who is winless with a record, I think, of like 0-7 this season. And they won against them in overtime. It's quite odd. Kansas leading TCU. Tight game here, 28-24. TCU is going to ride the definition of bubble throughout the rest of the season. But if you're TCU, if you get that win against Kansas, thank you, TCU, because you're helping out Providence, who won against you. On the road, by the way. So, thank you there if TCU is able to knock off Kansas today. That would do Providence a ton of favors there. And I have to thank Alabama for doing me favors, too, since I'm a Providence fan. Alabama won today big at Florida. And that's good because Alabama beat Providence in the Maui Invitational. By the way, UConn on fire. 48-47. UConn has taken the lead here, folks, in that game. We're back to action here. 44-33 with 11:10 left to go. Still a lot of game left to play here. We're gonna know that final score of UConn versus Marquette, by the way, most likely before the end of this game. So we'll keep you guys posted. UConn was trailing by 18 points, and they have come back, and now they're leading by 1. Wow. So talk about a sleeper for the tournament. James Bouknight's only scores 6, and they've recaptured the lead. That's huge. So other players producing at his finest. 11 minutes left to go here. Rutgers with the basketball as they will float it up mid-range. Off the front rim. Offensive rebounds. Miles Johnson as that's going to be a foul here picked up, and it's going to be offensive. Miles Johnson pushed off on the rebound. It's going to go back to Michigan State. Yeah, I heard Georgia Tech's on pause. Oof. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, there were a couple of teams like recently that's been on pause. Under 11 minutes left to go. Michigan State here with the basketball. Top of the key, Rocket Watts. Bounce pass over to the right elbow into the hands of Malik Hall. Malik Hall at the top of the key as he is guarded by McKahey. Hall dribbles back around the perimeter, puts the ball into the hands of Watts. Rutgers has just never been able to get into a rhythm today. 10:30 left to go. Watts passes out to the left wing. Watts has it. 2 on the shot clock. Got to shoot it, and there's a foul picked up by Rutgers with 1 on the shot clock. Ouch. That is just this game in a nutshell today for Rutgers there. The ball didn't even hit the rim for Rocket Watts to the left baseline fadeaway. So instead, that's the 7th team foul of the second half here for Rutgers. That means that Michigan State goes to the free throw line. And Rocket Watts going to shoot in the 1-on-1 bonus. Michigan State with 3 personal fouls, by the way, here in the second half. So Rocket Watts, 13 for 15, high percentage this season at the charity stripe. He's going to shoot 1-on-1 bonus. First one, got it. So Brady's prediction here, each conference winner. Big 10 Wisconsin, Big 12 Texas, Pac-12 Oregon. I definitely see Oregon right now out of the Pac-12. Oregon is a sleeper, too. They only got that 1 loss against Missouri. That's when their star point guard was injured, Will Richardson. And their teams basically build off of transfers from Oregon. That was the first ever game that all those transfers played with each other, a lot of those players. They lost a lot from that starting lineup from last season. Second free throw good. 46-33 to score. Rutgers takes up the court, and Michigan State picks up a foul from behind. But, yeah, I think Oregon's much better than what people think. They got a really good transfer that I think he had a double-double in the last game against Stanford over the weekend. LJ Figueroa from St. John's, and he didn't play in that first game against Missouri. The NCAA didn't grant him a waiver until like a couple weeks into the season. Shot no good by Rutgers here. Michigan State drives to the bucket. They get fouled once again. 8th personal picked up by Rutgers here in the second half, and the Spartans going to go right back to the charity stripe. I'll take a look at it sometime, Brady. for your channel, man. I'll take a look at your content, bud. Yeah, Preston puts out North Carolina State Clemson game. I heard, man, that went into overtime, and Clemson just keeps on winning games. They've been able to find ways to get victories there. 9-1 for Clemson. They've been a huge shock this year. Their defense looking good. LNG TV, welcome in the stream. He's calling this one for Michigan State with a bounce-back game for them today. Yeah, Bill's losing all his money today. Sorry to hear that, man. So sorry, bud. Missouri is blown, like, massive lead. 47-33. Second free throw, it's good by Michigan State. Rutgers an absolute no-show here. 33 points on the board halfway through the second half almost. UConn is leading Marquette 48-47 with 7 minutes left to go. Ian, welcome onto the stream here, bud. 10 minutes left to go now as we approach that mark halfway through the second half. Rutgers has it. They got to start hitting shots like at a ridiculous clip like West Virginia from yesterday, and they haven't shown any promise of that today. They look completely, like, discombobulated whatsoever offensively here. No rhythm whatsoever. Lob over the top. Johnson going to put it back. That's good for 2. Exactly what you needed to do. He was a big factor against Iowa. Give him some more touches in the post right there for Miles Johnson. 9:35 left to go. Michigan State has it, the left elbow. Moves it back to the top. They'll take a 3. Gabe Brown, no good off the mark. Rebound, Rutgers. Here's where you got to go in transition if you're Rutgers. Rutgers will take it past, but not a lot of urgency past the half-court logo. Jacob Young dribbles towards the left wing. We got 9:20 left to go. What's good, Chicken Man? Appreciate it for stopping them by. 9:15 left remaining. Left baseline dribble, reverse handle layup, gets fouled. So Jacob Young here going to shoot 2 at the free throw line. Clock will stop with 9:15. Scoreboard update going on right now. Marquette's taking the lead. 49-48, 6.5 left to go against UConn. Kansas up against TCU, 38-26. And Mississippi State pouring it on against Missouri. They've got a massive comeback, 64-54. Mississippi State leading, and this team has improved this year. Wow. With 4.5 left to go. So it looks like Missouri choked the big one tonight. Yeah, Lakers beat the Grizzlies by 2. I heard that Grizzlies stepped out of bounds with like a second left to go on an inbounds. First free throw. Rutgers no good. That's a killer. These free throws are a killer here for Rutgers. 2 for 12 at the charity stripe tonight. Second free throw, got it. 3 for 13. Ouch. 48-36 the score. And yeah, they're bottom of the NCAA for free throws. They came into this game shooting the ball at 60.5%. That's got to be around like something in the 300s. Michigan State no good with a jumper. Rebound as they get the offensive board. Michigan State going to set it back up. They're going to chew down the clock as well. Top of the key. Rocket Watts now dribbles. At the left baseline, moves it back outside. Hauser left him open. He takes the 3 and he makes it. How could you leave Joey Hauser that wide open to hit it right there? That's his 7th point. You know that he's a 3-point threat. Came from Marquette and could hit 3-point shots. Hasn't been able to do much today, but that shot just completely blown coverage right there by Rutgers trying to defend. Rutgers has it at the top. Shot fake. Jacob lob over the top here as Young goes over to Miles Johnson. He's going to try to throw it down as there's contact in the foul. Clock will stop with 8:18. The foul is going to be before the jam here, it looks like. Yep, Texas with a W over Iowa State today. How did Texas only win by 6 when they just beat Kansas by 20? Iowa State gave Baylor a fight, too. And Iowa State is number 1 in the Big 12 at defending the perimeter. They've been, I think, coming into that game, they were allowing, like, their opponents to shoot the ball at something like 20% from 3-point range. So, Iowa State's lost a ton of close games. They lost against West Virginia by 5. I have no clue how in the world they lost against Kansas State, though. It's odd. Very odd. 51-36. Yeah, dude, Jason Tatum scored 40 yesterday against the Raptors. I was watching the highlights of that earlier today in my lunch break. Rutgers down by 15. Got to start get the wheels going, which they haven't been able to all day long. First free throw good by Rutgers at the charity stripe. 4 for 14. They need to go right back into the gym tomorrow morning. 7 a.m. wake-up call after their flight home, and you got to start packing the gym here. 100 free throws, each player in a line. Second free throw, that one is good. 5 for 15 at the charity stripe today for Rutgers. 13-point game. Ron Harper Jr. has only got half of his season average, scoring 11 tonight. He's averaging around 22 per game. Michigan State has it. 8 minutes left to go at the right corner. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last deflected, though, looks like by Paul McCahey out of bounds for Rutgers. So Michigan State will have it back. Alex, welcome on the stream. Longhorns with that W once again today. That's awesome, Brady. So he makes videos about NBA all-time player rankings, other player rankings, the movie stuff he made with his cousin. That's great, man. I'll definitely check it out when I have the chance, Brady. Thanks so much for having me check out your content, bud. 51-38 to score. Less than 8 minutes left to go. Michigan State basketball leading by 13 as they dribble left baseline. Rocket Watts. Bounce pass right corner into the hands of Langford. Back over to Watts. Ball gets blocked up in the air. And that's going to be a shot clock violation. The shot clock goes down to 0, and that's going to be Rutgers basketball. It's been a lot of poor possessions today. There's been a couple shot clock violations. Like, we'll go through multiple games here, me streaming, without any shot clock violations. And then today we've had, like, multiple shot clock violations, like 3 or 4 of them in today's game. So we go to a timeout, 51-38. The score tells you how sloppy it's been so far tonight out in this game. Rutgers, just 30% shooting. In Michigan State, somehow they're 44% shooting from the floor. Reason why Michigan State is winning is because they made 13 free throws to the line. They're 13 for 16, whereas Rutgers is 5 for 15. That's not going to cut it. Preston puts out here, Will Barton's driving dunk cuts the T-Wolves lead to 2, 82-80 with 5:17 left in the third. Thanks so much, man, for the update there. So we take a look right now. NBA scoreboard updates. Lakers able to get the W over the Grizzlies tonight. 94-92. Final second left to go. Grizzlies in the inbound stepped out of bounds. Low scoring game there. Timberwolves extend now. They're up by 3 against the Nuggets with 4.5 left to go in the third. 85-82. Spurs crushing the Clippers. Wow, 52-30 here. San Antonio demolishing the Clippers tonight. Blazers up against the Bulls 12-6. College basketball going on. UConn has made a major comeback up against Marquette now, 55-52 with 4:40 left to go. Kansas up against TCU, 44-41. Not a good night for my man Ty here. Sorry to hear that, bud. He swears Missouri's just curling up and dying, dude. Like, they have completely collapsed. They were up by 12 at the half, and Mississippi State 39-15 in the second half. Ouch. Mississippi State leading 66-54. Make it 68 now as they just got the bucket. 68-54 by 14 in the final 3:15 left to go in that game. So the main game here, since we still have 7:45 left to go, we're going to know the final score, UConn Marquette. So we'll keep you guys posted. That's a tight game going on at the moment. So we'll know the final score unless it goes into overtime after this game is done. I can't believe that this game still got 7:45 remaining right now. Man. Mississippi State shooting, like all of them are NBA first rounders. They've really improved for Mississippi State. That's a young team though. Like these players from Mississippi State, they're not going to be a tournament team, I feel like, but they're going to make it into the NIT from Mississippi State. And they've got 2 players in the backcourt, I think that's sophomores, that's like going into this game averaging like 18 per game. And one of those key players was out for the season opener against Clemson, I think. Yeah, he missed the first 2 games of the season. So yeah, just not a good night for you, man. Missouri losing by 13 and Kansas is winning by 13. So we are back into action here, folks. And this game is Rutgers is trailing by 13. 51-38, 7.5 left to go. Rutgers basketball. And they need to start getting Miles Johnson involved. Right baseline, bank. That's good for 2 by Rutgers. By Ron Harper Jr. 11-point game. They need a whole lot more than that. Good looks like the turnaround right there. 7:20 left to go. Michigan State with it. Rocket Watts now with the basketball, top of the key. See, dribble to the right elbow, moves it back to the left wing, shot fake here, Hauser. Left baseline guarded by Johnson, moves it back over to the top. Approaching 7 left to go here in this one. If you guys are new, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that sub. Rocket Watts floats it up, no good. Rebound Rutgers. They got to go on transition, got to make it fast here too and get some points. Rutgers with it. Top of the key will set it up. Rutgers dribbles behind their back. They're going to take the jumper. Left elbow. No. That rim in East Lansing here just not courteous. Rattled right out. Geo Baker missed it. If he had hit that one, it would have been back to single digits. Rebound Spartans. Michigan State has it. 6:35 left to go. Dribbles now at the left elbow. Looking to pass it. They move it out around the perimeter to Henry. Henry now with the basketball. Drives inside. Floats up the teardrop. No good. Rebound Johnson. Rutgers needs urgency. Here they go. They got to go on the fast break much faster than this, though. They have it at the top of the key. And their big man gets knocked down as that's going to be a foul picked up by Michigan State. Their 8th personal. It's going to lead here to Rutgers at the free throw line. Also in the bonus now. Jeez. Mississippi State literally just body checking Missouri. Then they breathe on them and they just toot the whistle there. The refs just not having the game with Missouri, man. We got 6:20 left to go here. Still a lot of time. 6:20 remaining here, folks. 2 free throws to the line by a 0 for 6 free throw shooter today. Miles Johnson, the 6'10 big for Rutgers, is yet to hit a free throw. Colin, what's good here, bud? And 1-1 bonus, he missed it. 0 for 7 at the line today. Rutgers is 5 for 16 at the charity stripe. Crusher today at the free throw line. Michigan State has it. Left wing perimeter. As they dribble now with Aaron Henry. Moves it back over to the top. Hauser passes over to Langford. He dribbles. Pro hop inside. Puts it up and gets to the fall. That's good for 2. 53-40 MSU. Final 6 minutes left to go. Rutgers has it. Moves it back into the hands of McKay. They need buckets, and instead they're just going around the perimeter with the basketball. Rutgers needs to go fast here. At the right wing. Jacob Young drives inside to the bucket. Missed the layup. Tipped up in the air. Rebound Hauser. Oh, man. They just can't get anything here in the post for Rutgers. Off the dribble drive penetration. They have had so many chances to lay it up, and they just can't put it home. Michigan State has it. 5:20 left to go. Yep, 0 for 7 at the line. Poor Miles Johnson. He's the center for the team, and he just can't hit free throws. Right wing 3. Michigan State takes it. They make it. Josh Langford. He is hot right now. And that should be the exclamation point tonight. Approaching 5 minutes left to go. Langford is hot. He is breaking out in this one now. Aaron Henry with 18 points. Langford now with 6 with back-to-back buckets. Or Langford now with 9 points. As we had that. He had 6 prior to that. Rutgers with the basketball. Pro hop inside. They're going to float it up. That one is no good. Missed it off the back iron. And right place, right time. Joey Hauser comes up with rebound number 12. Michigan State slowing it down. 4:30 left to go. Just a bad performance by Rutgers. 4:30 left to go. And you can never win a game if you shoot the ball at 30% from the floor. They've only made 16 shots. Dribbles now, Michigan State jumper. That one is good. Aaron Henry with 2 more. This game is broken loose. Hey, we got a dono. My man Jack here with a $3 dono. Really appreciate it, my man. Let's get that dono hype in the chat here. Absolute dono legend with my man Jack on the channel. 4 minutes left to go. Rutgers just no show. Ian put out here, did I hear about UNLV's recruit got in a DUI crash, killed some woman out there? I actually didn't. Wow, that's unfortunate, man. Jeez. 3:50 left remaining. I remember last year there was a player from New Mexico, was the top player for the team, and he got into a drunk driving crash and got suspended off the team last year. 3:40 left remaining. I guess with the pandemic, there's not like a lot of players doing anything stupid this year or so. Because last year there were 2 players from Nebraska. They got involved in a hit and run, and they were 2 of the starters, and they got asked to leave the team last year. Kind of shows by Nebraska's 7-25 record. Michigan State pass underneath, gonna throw it down. 2-handed flush. Going down by Malik Hall. Ouch. Rutgers did not show up today. Man. 60-40. The score right now. Michigan State getting hot as of late. And Rutgers just hasn't been able to hit anything whatsoever. And this is quite a concern. as we're going to go on to a timeout. Zayon Collins, the player for UNLV, it looks like. Wow, thanks so much for the update right there. Jack the Legend indeed on the channel. Jose's back on here talking with his girlfriend on the phone. Jeez, Mississippi State's player just walked out of bounds and then they gave them a no call. Quick scoreboard update here. College basketball, UConn, baby. Let's go. Top 25. Top 25, book it in my books. I've got UConn. Give me until February 1st, and they're going to be in the top 25 once they start playing more games. This is a crucial one. They're going to drop Marquette to 6-6 if they can close it out. They have 1:44 left to do so. UConn leads it 60-54 after a disastrous start to the second half where they were trailing by 18 at one point. What a comeback. And James Bouknight only has 6 points. Oh my gosh. So Tyler Polley breaking out with 20 points. 15 and 13 by Whaley for UConn, and they just got another bucket. So they lead at 55 seconds left to go, 62-54. Yep, I'll be back tomorrow. Celtics against Heat tomorrow for NBA at 7:30, and also if Baylor versus Oklahoma is close, I'll cover the second half of that one after the Celtics if that game is close. Welcome in, Will. Aaron, welcome onto the stream here, bud. Alex, welcome on board. He just wants to come in and support. Thanks so much, bud. And yes, the Go Soon playing Among Us with his girlfriend and his best friends. That's awesome, man. So tomorrow's Celtics game versus Heat tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern time. If Baylor versus Oklahoma is close tomorrow, we'll join that one in progress for the second half. Yeah, dude, UConn came back. They were down by 18. They were down by 18 with like 15 minutes left to go in the second half. They have come back. They've taken an 8-point lead with 55 seconds left to go. That's insane. Yeah, Kevin puts out college basketball games been lackluster to say the least here. Last 2 minutes, North Carolina, UNC Miami here. Probably the worst 2 minutes he has ever watched. Ouch. Yeah, Miami coughed up a lead. They lost by 2. Kansas putting up 49 at halftime against TCU. 49-35 to score in that one. And Mississippi State has won against Missouri. Ouch. Missouri was leading by 12 at the half. Mississippi State outgains them second half 51-24. Rest of the way. Talk about comebacks here. Insane. 78-63 the final. Mississippi State gets the W. So now we'll keep you guys posted on UConn here for their final scores. We still got over 3 minutes left to go. 3:26 left to go in this game, and it's blown up here in the past couple minutes with Michigan State taking full control. So yeah, Missouri was leading by 12, and they blew it, and that's just bad. That's outrageous there. 51-24 to get outscored in the second half. By the way, for Rutgers, things aren't going to get easier down the stretch here. They're playing against Ohio State, who just got knocked out of the top 25 on Monday. So they take on Ohio State coming up on Saturday, and then they got Penn State. And then the schedule gets tough from there on out. For these games, they got, for the remainder of the month, Wisconsin, Indiana, Michigan State again on the 28th, and closing out with Northwestern before they get Minnesota, Iowa, Northwestern, Michigan. Ouch. That's a tough schedule for Rutgers. Man. 61-40 as Michigan State hits their free throw at the line. 3:10 left to go in this game. Rutgers is down by a bunch, and they haven't been urgent at all, and they're just dribbling with the basketball as the clock does stop, though. Stops with 3:10. We're going to beat Maryland on Thursday. Yep. Alex puts out, yeah, they don't have a good front court at all. For Maryland, it's too bad for Maryland because Makai and Makel Mitchell, they were supposed to be the two players in the front court. They transferred out to Rhode Island, and Maryland got stuck with barely anything. They got stuck with Galen Smith as a transfer from Alabama. Top of the key three, Rutgers takes it, no good. Brick City tonight for the Scarlet Knights. A rebound back to Michigan State in the final 3 minutes. What's worse? Yep, the Flyers losing to Fordham. Or Missouri, I'd say Missouri losing against Mississippi State right there. So yeah, Missouri losing against Mississippi State. If that was realistic. I saw the bracketology today as that jumper's good for 2 by Michigan State. Somebody put in their bracketology. I think it was Jerry Palm of CBS. He put in Missouri versus Norfolk State in the first rounds. And, yeah, we all know how that went around a decade ago in the tournament. Right baseline jumper, no good by Rutgers, and Michigan State going to get the rebounds. Landon thinks Kentucky can beat Missouri now. Man, Missouri just collapsed. Like, wow. Crazy. Crazy night for college basketball. Who would have ever thought that the Dayton Flyers would lose to Fordham tonight? And all the other craziness going on. Rutgers going to get the rebound here. They're down by 23. Do I have Iowa winning Thursday? I do. I have them winning Thursday. I'm gonna cover the NBA on Thursday though. With we got Nets versus Sixers for the NBA on Thursday. Minute 30 left to go. 63-40. Right baseline dribble. Jack's getting ready to eat Taco Bell right before tonight here. He's gonna regret it tonight, it looks like. Enjoy your night, guys. Really appreciate y'all for stopping on by in this one. Crazy night here. Minute 21 left to go and 63-40. Who would ever thought Rutgers would score 40 on the board? Wow. Man. UConn defeats Marquette. Thanks so much for the update right there, Preston. That's incredible, man. Wow, what a comeback by UConn. 42-23, outgaining Marquette in the second half. Yeah, it talks about how when no fans in the stands, it's up to the players to create their energy on the court. Tyler Polley did it tonight for UConn with 23 points in a game that James Bouknight had 6. This team is a legit NCAA tournament team for UConn. This team is legit here. James Bouknight scores 6. And this team able to manage to come from behind and win by 11. UConn needs to be ranked in the top 25 by February 1st if they keep it up. That's only their 6th game so far. So now at 5-1 for UConn, but great start. They've done everything that they've been asked to so far this year. Final minute left to go. Michigan State by 23. I would have never imagined it would be this much of a blowout, but wow, these games are odd this year. That is one thing. How's their shot fake? Looking for more on the board. 50 seconds left to go. He gets fouled. This can certainly help for Michigan State because they had lost their first 3 to start out conference play. They're at 1-3 now. They're going to go to 2-3 now. And let's see the road ahead for the Spartans here. So they're going to improve to 8-3 in the season, 2-3 in conference play. Road ahead looks like this. Purdue, that should be a W. Then it brings up a showdown at Iowa on the 14th. They got certainly winnable games over here. They take on Purdue next. Purdue is going to be borderline bubble team, I feel like, for the rest of the season. And should be a good matchup, but Michigan State at home should be able to pull that one off. And then at Iowa, very tough game there against the Hawkeyes with that scoring attack that they have. Both of the free throws go down at the line by Michigan State. Rutgers, if you can't hit free throws, it's going to be a hard march for you. If you can't hit free throws, that's a big jam, but you should have got that one much earlier, throwing it down with a two-handed flush. 65-42. And they're going to shoot one as well at the line. So Michigan State schedule ahead, Purdue at Iowa, versus Indiana, versus Illinois, at Rutgers again. These two teams face each other 23 days from now on the 28th of January. So they take on each other once again January 28th at Rutgers that time to close out their series for the regular season. And then to close out January, Michigan State goes on the road at Ohio State. And then they take on Michigan twice in the second portion of conference play. So that's the schedule right now, pending any changes to it, which there probably will be. 65-43 the scores. That free throw is good. And final 30 seconds left to go before I wrap it up. Michigan State with the basketball. This is a great victory here for the Spartans to move them right in the right direction. A lot of struggles with their backcourt defense heading into this game. No problemo today. Allowed Rutgers to shoot the ball 3 for 12 from the floor. Rutgers shot the ball at only 30% from the floor, with a Michigan State defense in their first four conference games that was allowing like around high 70s to their opponents. That three-point shot good by the Spartans to close it out 68-45 as Rutgers just got the layup and Michigan State inbound dribbles out the clock. This game has gone final. W here for Sparty. Wow, they crushed them. 68-45 here. Number 23 takes down number 15. And if you shoot the ball 6 for 17 at the free throw line, bad things are going to happen. And that is what happened tonight for Rutgers. You're not going to win the game. And Michigan State, total complete 180. They won this game because they were able to control the basketball in the second half. They had 14 turnovers in the first half. They only turned it over 4 times in the second half, and they got the W. So, big games going out tonight. Multiple comebacks. Miami coughed one up against UNC. UNC came back and won. Missouri choked against Mississippi State. Mississippi State came back and won. UConn trailed by 18 points with like 15 minutes left to go in the second half. UConn came back. They won by 11 against Marquette. Crazy. Tomorrow night, I'll be back for the NBA. We're going to have Celtics versus Heat, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. If Baylor versus Oklahoma is close tomorrow after the Celtics game, I'll cover the second half of Baylor versus Oklahoma if that one is close, not a blowout at halftime. But wow, man, statement here for Sparty in this one, 68-45. Before you sign off, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell as well here, everybody. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much for the support, everyone. Before you sign off, of course, I'm going to close it out with the members here. Big thank you out to my channel members. We got Jack, Jason, the sports expert out here for the 3 channel members I got. Thank you guys so much for supporting out my streams. Feel free to join back tomorrow, Celtics Heat, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Everybody, Rutgers only held a 45. Sparty gets the W, 68-45. Wrapping up. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night, everybody. This is Behind the Arc Basketball. Thanks so much for stopping by.